4,915 pounds, a blisteringly fast-selling popular 26RR Grey Wolf, available now at used dollars, while this one supply lasts here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Judging by the Harley decal on the front, this appears to have been Harold and Tina's hog hauler. It's been used a total of 8 times, and overall pretty well kept. However, I will tell you, this has been smoked in. They were smokers. They smoked inside the RV. With a heavy weekend of a lot of cleaning, you could probably knock that scent down, but I don't think that you'll get totally rid of it anytime soon. Smell-O-Vision hasn't yet made it to YouTube. We haven't found that plug-in app for our phones yet, so I thought I would at least have the common courtesy to mention something like that to you before you made a 4-hour drive to see an RV and then walk in and go, holy crap, I have asthma, this thing's gonna kill me, or I don't know, whatever triggers you have. I don't know. What's cool about this floor plan is that it's not just a garage. Once you get your stuff unloaded, you've got a cool little living area right here. Like, we'll come back, we'll look at the kitchenette, but you've got this giant mega dinette where 6 adults could sleep, or frankly, a couple of adults could easily sleep back here. And this is the generation where they went to using sealed edge countertops on the kitchen, on the table, on just about everything. As a Grey Wolf dealer, I've got a very good bead on the history with these things. And thankfully, this one was built with the centralized air conditioner, which was an optional piece of equipment when this was first built. Has since rolled into the standard setup. So what's also kind of cool here, if I take a step back, you see, you could utilize that table back there for different things, but you still have all this room up here. So if at night you want to load your bike up and you don't want people to like get to it or something, and you don't want to leave it outside, you have the room to do that. And really, that's kind of the only reason this thing's here. The folks loved it. They actually just swapped this out for a 255RR Cherokee, which is basically this floor plan in a fifth wheel, because they had 2 Harleys they wanted to transport, and they had to leave one of them outside in the evening, and they just weren't really cool with that concept. They didn't want people touching their bikes, basically, which, man, I can't blame them for that. But what's cool here is there's no one way you have to use this. Like, if you just want to leave one set of the benches down, you have that sort of floating dining table, you want to fold the other bench up out of the way, you can. I mean, it's just kind of however you want to go about it there. We have a roll-down screen wall right above me right now as I walk through the garage threshold that if you want to kind of turn this into an open-air 3 seasons room, you can. I love that big window right there. Something I've seen some people do, and actually the Catalina version of this here at Haylet RV comes with a couple of chairs that you could plop right in front of that window if you're so inclined. Now, one of the questions I think a ton of people are going to have here is, I see that a lot of the new Grey Wolves and toy haulers have that patio tailgate system. Can I get that put onto this? And the answer is not really. This camper was never engineered for something like that. The ramp door framework, the ramp itself, is not made to accept that system. You could sort of make one by putting some pedestals under the ramp door, but again, it's not made for that, and this is a smaller ramp door than what you typically find on a new Grey Wolf or Catalina or Wildwood or anything like that. So this one of the reasons it's less expensive than new ones is not just because it's used, but it doesn't have that like $1,200 hardware system with it either. But what is a common quality in relation to today's is that recessed sink and stove, because without it, this camper wouldn't have a whole lot in the way of prep space, but right now you're pretty good. This is one of those earlier generation models that first started using that one basin farm sink there that's become so popular. Now, previous owners, big-time Harley enthusiasts, and you can see a couple little decals that they've left behind. That's the kind of thing I think could be probably removed without really leaving any sort of signature of it anywhere. Well, maybe you like it. To each their own. I'm just letting you know what could be, not necessarily what is. I love that shoe garage right by the door. You get back from the ride and kick off your shoes, your boots, or something like that. Oh, one thing I was going to mention. They had, where'd it go? There it is. They had a wheel chock or two put in the floor, so you can see where they had those wheel mounts. This has a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking, so it's very good if you want to mount your own wheel chocks or something. There's just going to be a little bit of a signature left when you're done with it, just like the previous owners had there. The full walk-through bathroom here is another one of those calling cards that has made this floor plan very popular. I think the fact that part of the I call these crossover campers because this has a normal travel trailer bathroom and bedroom. It just happens to have a ramp door on the back, and that's the original carpet square that we keep by the doors of our new RVs so we can wipe feet off when we're walking in and out of trailers. So, I mean, these people really kept track of everything. Foot flush stool, great linen space, and then above you see it also has one of the larger vent fans to get some superior airflow going, and a simple but effective private front bedroom up here. The dual mirrored hanging closets really help the room look and feel a little bit bigger by reflecting more light around. And that's also one of the reasons I love this giant viewing window over here on the campsite. If you hear a funky sound at night, you want to check it out, you don't have to get out of bed and walk through the bathroom into the living room. You can do it all right from here, right in your bedroom. I've also noticed that previous owners did something I can't believe I've never seen done before. These are outside baggage door latches, and they use them to hold up doors inside the RV, just like you would hold up a door on the outside of the RV. It's genius. I'm shocked I haven't seen it done more often. They did that back in the living room too. And before we step outside, I want to take a quick second to put that big giant dinette down into sleeper mode like I mentioned before. So, you know, this is a great couples camper first and foremost, but there's absolutely nothing from stopping you from having a guest, even a couple adults, because with that big 8-foot wide dinette back there, 2 adults could easily sleep there. The skin and the decals all look pretty good. I don't see any sort of severe peeling, fading, anything like that. Like, if you look around here, you can see, like, even the solar sticker here has held up pretty well. There's also a simple gas grill quick connect right in front of that stabilizer jack right there. It's a very easy thing to miss. You know, if you are going to do some kind of dry camping, or even if you are park camping, man, I am on a roll today. Keeping the heat from cooking, there we go, out of the RV is something that I think a lot of people appreciate doing. The ABS propane bottle cover has seen a little bit of sun fade, but other than that, she looks pretty good. Power tongue jack doing the heavy lifting, the big, you know, work for you there. As we work our way down the side here, you also see that right next to your dump station, you've got a full outside utility shower. And on a little hauler like this, what I call a crossover camper, where it's not a normal travel trailer, but it's also not a big, heavy, full toy hauler, that's a handy feature, because, you know, if you got your one bike there or whatever, it makes it, you know, easy to kind of clean the bike off, or maybe clean some fish if you went fishing. Like, sometimes you don't necessarily have to just have a motorcycle for something like this. What if you have bicycles or a kayak or anything of that nature? These little haulers are very good for a variety of different things. Now, before I drop that gate, one of the things I wanted to show you back here was the positive latch system that they've been using for years on these Grey Wolves. So even without key locking, which first of all, it can key lock for security as opposed to a deadbolt or a padlock that somebody could cut off, but when you close that, it self-catches. So you have to flip it open to be able to drop that gate. And this is what I call a Generation 2 Grey Wolf toy hauler. And the way that I define the generations on these is primarily by the width of the garage door. The Generation 1 Grey Wolf toy haulers, the door was barely as wide as a common four-wheeler, not even like a side-by-side ATV or anything like that. It was just enough to be able to get like motorcycle handlebars through, and that was just about it. The Generation 2s widened the door, and what's funny is the Generation 2's door is not as wide as Generation 3, but it is equally as effective. And you're going, what now? How is a door that's not as wide just as good as one that's wider? And the answer is, remember how these benches can fold up out of the way? They made this doorway width basically the exact same as those benches, how far they stick out in the up position. So, you know, you have the same loading width door here as you have space between those benches in the up position, and that's something that not everybody was kind of able to wrap their head around. So Grey Wolf said, no sweat, no problem, we'll just make the door as wide as the entire RV basically, which is what I call the Generation 3 Grey Wolf, which is what you see in our new inventory today here at Haylet RV. So just a little RV history lesson for you. This door might not look as wide as one of our brand new 26RR Grey Wolves at Haylet's, but it is equally as effective. You have a power awning just like you have a power tongue jack for easy setup. And this is a lower riding platform, which is one of the nice things here. So it's not as steep of a ramp door, which is also why you only have 2 steps instead of 3. Outside TV hookup, should you choose to add a TV, that same bracket that's out there is the same bracket that's up in here. So one screen can kind of float around. And that stereo system and DVD player, it actually is connected to everything out here. So whatever you're playing inside will mirror right outdoors. We also have that larger entry handle and an anti-slam entry door. Now that one is torqued down pretty tight. And I say that because a lot of people don't realize those have adjustable hinges. There's a set screw on the top and bottom hinges where you can crank down, you know, how much friction grab you want those to have. That one is in serious no slam mode. So again, other than just the fact that she's a bit of a smoker special, this thing's in great shape. And I mean, considering the money that this is not costing in the used market compared to a brand new one, you could call like a professional insane cleaning service like ServPro Disaster Recovery to go through this thing and sanitize and bleach everything and knock down 90% of that smoker smell. A large part of that will fade over time. If you're very sensitive, it's probably always going to linger. You're probably always going to know it's there. I'm not trying to blow smoke. No pun intended. That was really... I don't know if that was genius or poor phrasing. I'm not sure, but it was phrasing nonetheless. Fact is, I think that there's ways you could get around the smoker spell, and everything else is just in great shape. So, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.